topic thing at the minute. It's a really simple make this. I'm only going to die cut one of the elements here from the Bold Flora set. I'm just taking the butterfly element because it's going to be a frame with some nice flying butterflies and a bit of sort of spattering technique. So I've got everything I need, so let's begin. The first thing I'm going to do, I've taken a frame here, and it's a good idea to take out the back of the frame and put it on your card and just measure around it and cut so that it fits in the frame before you start. Because you don't want to sort of start, get up to a certain point and realise that you can't frame it right or something like that. So I've pre-cut this piece of paper so that it fits onto my frame, so I know that's going to fit there. All I'm going to do, I'm going to use a bit of ink. I've chosen 3 colours to match the colours of these. If you look here, I've die cut already lots and lots and lots of these tiny little butterfly elements. They're a really lovely element just from this die set here. But we have loads of different butterfly dies, so you know, if you look in your back catalogue, this should be something that you know you've got the things around to make. So I'm going to start by doing a bit of ink flicking for a speckly technique. So I'm going to start with some pink. So just rub it straight onto the mat there. And then this is one of the techniques I've used previously in my inking videos. If you want to go and have a look at that, might be a good idea. So a bit of advice, you give it a spritz with water, not too much. I'm going to hold the spatula like this in one hand, so I'm holding it with my left hand. I'm going to put my thumb midway up and I'm going to use my index finger to bring this back here. Now if you want a small area of splatter, then you slide your thumb a bit further up and then you get a small area. I want a kind of mid-sized area, so I'm going to put it about here. It's a really nice technique that just for controlling your ink splatter. So there you go, just test it on there to make sure it is all coming off right and it's the right consistency. There we go. And then just random splatters from one corner moving upwards. I don't want to go overboard because this needs to be a subtle effect there. Okay, do I have any paper towels? Yes, I do, they're over here in my very organised studio. Okay, so just give that a wipe. It can be a good idea if you just want to speed it up to use the heat tool on this so that you get these dry a bit quicker. But they're only small little droplets, so they do dry very quickly. I'm going to use some yellow on top of that. Same again. Just 3 quick sprays there. It should be about the right consistency. Try out my technique. And the colours here are so subtle, but you'll see at the end they just really add to it. Okay, and finally I've taken a blue ink. Give that a wipe. It's really satisfying wiping that off there because it comes off really easily. Same thing again. There we go. Just mixing that a bit around. Sometimes it feels like there's actually none on your spatula, but there is. Perfect. And you can just see there that when you kind of zoom in, it's just got those 3 colours that they just look really lovely, summery and playful and bright. There we go. So there is the ink speckling. Now I've pre-cut these because otherwise it'd just be showing me putting it through the machine lots and lots of times. So it's nice to kind of get them all together and then have them there so that you can just build them up as you go. Now I'm going to do it in a rainbow array here. So I'm picking the colours that are closer to red towards this part. It's sort of what is it, Roy G. Beer, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet is the sort of natural gradient of the colours, so I'm going to try and stick to that as best as possible. As I get them, I'm just going to bend the wings up, add a bit of life to the make there. Bit of express glue, so I'm going for my reddish colours. This is the sorbet card. I'll leave that there. And I'm going to mark here where, you know, the colour order and when I'm going to change, because that's really handy. So we've got red, the orangey type, so that's our Mango Tango cardstock here. I'll put that one about here, so red, orange, maybe a bit further back. Yellow. I'm trying to find the ones that I've already used my die pick on just to get those little bits out. Yellow. And I'm having them kind of not all facing exactly the same direction because I want to add a bit of movement to the picture there. So red, orange, yellow. And then green, I'm using mint julep. I will use my die pick for this one. Just pick out a few of the little holes in the wings. The more kind of time you spend on these sorts of dies, it really pays off when you just pay that extra bit of attention using your die pick and just getting rid of any bits that you don't want there. There we go. And then bend the wings. Let's stick that one down. You really only need a very, very tiny bit of this express glue. And you just leave it and it works really, really well. Okay, so before I add the rest of my butterflies in, I'm going to use 2 of our Sizzix stamps. I've got a happy stamp here, and then I have this memories stamp, and that one there is from the Detailed Tropics die and stamp set. So I will just add a bit of the black ink there, stick that back on, and then really lightly, I'm going to stick it somewhere where I know we're going to, you know, have room with the frame around it, and about here. Lovely. Okay, now I can just kind of go a bit mad and stick butterflies all around, trying to keep to this same colour palette here. So the sorbet, I'm not going to add too many because I want it to kind of look like a nice, what would you call it, a kind of group of butterflies, not a school, a flutter of butterflies. I made that up, but you can have that. Just a few more, just to show you the idea, and then when you try yours at home, which I'd love to see in the comments, because it is such a simple make, and it's quite relevant today as well with the rainbow theme. Yeah. So when you have a go with your own, you can kind of have as little or as many as you like. Oh, there, one more there. I'll have one more yellow here. So that's a limoncello. And then one more green as well, just to balance it out. That's the mint julep. Oh, I've not poked any holes out of the mint julep, but for now, just while I'm showing you, I'll just add this one here. There we go. So now you'll just see when I frame that up, it just makes a really lovely little home decor frame. Put the back on there. Hold it down. And there we are. It's just a really nice, simple make, and I think it'd look really lovely in anyone's home. So that's it from me. Make sure you go to our website, have a look at the deals we've got on there. We've got some fantastic deals. We've got a massive range of dies, and you know, have a look through your back catalogue as well to see kind of what butterfly elements that you've got that might add to this make, and show us some pictures in the comments of the things that you've been making, because I do really appreciate it. I see all of the comments that come in, I see the pictures that people have sent in of the makes that they've tried at home based on, you know, the ideas that we've given them, and it's just such a nice feeling. So thank you very